Surgery. You'd expect the surgeon to have plenty of specialist training and qualifications. But when you choose to undergo laser surgery for your eyes, that isn't guaranteed, because any qualified doctor registered with the General Medical Council can set up a clinic, a fact confirmed by the Royal College of Ophthalmologists, and there's no comprehensive compulsory register of the people who carry the treatment out. Caroline Maguire paid to have laser surgery on both of her eyes, but due to changes in her eyes, her vision actually deteriorated. She then went to a well-known chain of laser specialists to ask if they could help her.
They were very clear that having had laser once, they weren't happy to do it again. But we've all got one eye stronger than the other, and I was advised by the consultant he could make my weaker eye, which was my left eye, my reading eye, if I were to be happy with that. I was offered mapping, which is a bit more of a sophisticated computer image of your eye, which apparently gives a more accurate outcome. And that was, of course, extra pennies.
And how much did these treatments cost you?
Well, the first ones were about £2,500 each, possibly a bit more with the consultation. And the second one, I think it was one eye with the mapping, was probably about 2,800 for one eye.
You'd had two procedures. At that point, had you got what you wanted?
Well, when I came out from having the left eye lasered, within 3 weeks, I was mortified because suddenly I couldn't read small print and the alarm bell started going off. So I think I must have made an extra early appointment and went back, only to be informed that, oh yes, unfortunately, 3 people in every 100, it doesn't work, because the good news is your body's very good at healing and your left eye is trying to heal itself back to how it was. Had you had any indication of that beforehand? That was never mentioned to me. You've since had lens implant surgery. Some time after, because of the cost. Clearly, it was quite expensive. Did it work? I wasn't a candidate for what I would have liked to have had, and that is because, Peter, I have laser eye surgery, and it limits your options. And I think that's really important that people are told that when they have laser, that it could reduce your options later on if you indeed need anything further or you want to consider implants. You should be told, for sure, there is a failure rate. I mean, that's never been mentioned to me, ever. And when I went for my lens implants, we went through that very carefully. And indeed, because of the laser on my left eye twice, they couldn't, promise the outcome. What do you want to see happen that isn't happening at the moment? You can go to the high street and you have this done in your lunch hour. And I think that can be quite a dangerous thing, really, because I think ignorance is bliss, and vanity comes into it as well. And so I just think it would be helpful if there could be some sort of register to maybe have the companies, the consultants perhaps, all put on this register with some outcomes, and maybe even a referral system for people to speak to someone where they have concerns, to give an example of their situation, of what the possible pitfalls could be. Caroline Maguire. Well, the private London Eye Hospital says they're seeing a growing number of patients damaged by poor quality eye surgery delivered by doctors without specialist training. Well, Mr. Saj Khan is a surgeon at the London Eye Hospital. What are the experiences of the patients then that are coming to you?
I should clarify, Peter, it's not just about physical damage. I think what Caroline highlighted earlier on, we're talking about there being a limited amount of information being given preoperatively, so patients don't understand the implications of the surgery for their sight and implications for later on in life.
And yet there have been anxieties about treatment for the eyes, for laser treatment, for many years, haven't there? Don't people know that it can be a risky procedure?
Well, I think you'll find a lot of people have the assumption that in order for the government to be allowing people to perform surgery, that they must all be equally and adequately trained. And that's where people are surprised. Again, the procedure itself, I'll reiterate, I've had laser eye surgery myself. It is a fantastic procedure when appropriately performed, and as long as the person undergoing the procedure understands the risks, the benefits, and what the implications are after surgery.
I want to quote something to you. I mean, the biggest company doing this corrective surgery in the UK is Optical Express. Caroline Maguire didn't have her procedure with them, I should make clear, but they've told us they have treated over 600,000 patients. You deal with a handful of people who've had bad experiences. Is that really enough on which to base these allegations about the industry?
Well, if you're playing the numbers game, then absolutely you can justify it that way.
I'm not playing a game. I'm suggesting that there may be a great many people who are satisfied with the treatment.
No, completely, and that's why I say it is an absolutely excellent procedure for those people that are appropriately informed of what they're having done, and the vast majority of people achieve what they hope out of having the procedure done. The issue here is that when you are performing surgery on any human being, you can't guarantee an outcome. That's first and foremost, because everybody can heal differently.
Sure.
You can't promise that everybody will achieve the same results. But it's different if somebody has been informed of that fact and is aware of that fact going in.
Right. So it is very much about the information. Can I ask you what it is you want to be done?
I think we want patients to have an easier way of being reassured that somebody has undertaken an appropriate level of training and is appropriately qualified to undertake their procedure.
The Royal College of Ophthalmologists, they've told us that there are standards in place to protect patients. They've included cosmetic eye surgery in a larger review, which is led by Sir Bruce Keogh, who's Medical Director of NHS England. So isn't that being done?
To some degree it is. The fact that there are standards is excellent, and that's exactly what we need. The issue at the moment is that a lot of these standards are voluntary rather than enforced.
Right. You want it to be compulsory?
We want it to be compulsory.
But that's something the medical profession can't do on its own. Are you saying this needs legislation?
Yes. Yeah. You know, what we're talking about here is doing something which, as well as having the ability to do good for somebody, can do them harm as well. It's analogous to driving a car. You know, nobody's allowed to drive a car without being properly qualified to do so, as in having passed a basic standard test.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. Mr. Saj Khan, thank you very much for joining us on the programme.